Hi, everyone. Welcome to Connecting with Balance today. My name's Emily Kent, Education Director for Pilabolus and creator of this program. Today, we are going to have a practice that is all about messing with your balance, right? Because life is not perfect. And practicing balance does not always mean I'm going to get everything ready and I'm going to stand and I'm going to be perfectly still and perfectly balanced. Sometimes we imagine that in our mind, like that's how you practice your balance. But in reality, it's important to be able to manage the things that life throws at you, those disturbances, or I love the word perturbations in our balance, and reacting to those. So we are going to do a lot of different ways that we can mess with a position, whether it be standing on one leg or two legs. Remember, you can always have a chair. I encourage you to have a chair. Make sure it's sturdy, or even a countertop or a wall that you can hold on to. Because we're going to be challenging our balance, I want you to know that there's something there that you can hold on to. If you do this class perfectly and never put your foot down or never feel like you're a little wobbly, then you might not be pushing enough for your challenge. Okay. The goal here is to get to a place where you are struggling a little bit. Always want you to feel safe. So you shouldn't feel like you're scared to do something. I want you to feel challenged. You do need to have the ball. I've got mine tucked away here. Some kind of ball, something that you can throw up and down and bounce on the floor. If you can't, you don't have something you can bounce, you can always just throw it. All right. If you're able to, let's start standing up. If you need to start in a chair, you can do most of these exercises in the chair as well. But if you can stand, I encourage you to stand. Let's start with just a little check-in of our body. So close your eyes. That can feel challenging already. So if you want to have your hand resting on the chair or the wall, whatever, go ahead and do that. Take a couple of breaths and just check in. You might even start with the feet and move your way up to your head and kind of notice how you're feeling. I encourage you to practice barefoot if you can, or at very least on the most minimal shoes you can wear so you really feel the ground with your feet. Check in with your knees. You might move them a little bit, bend and straighten them a little bit, kind of see how you're feeling today. With your hips, maybe you just move your hips a little side to side or forward to back, kind of notice how you're feeling. Your shoulders, wiggle them around. Your arms, can they be relaxed by your sides? And then even your head, kind of wiggle it at the top. Make sure you're not tight and tense already holding on. Sometimes we don't notice those places that we tense up in. So see if we can let go of stuff we don't need. Let your eyes open. And we're going to just start right here with just a few little warm-up movements. So let's start by circling the shoulders. Again, you can absolutely do this sitting in a chair if you want to. One more time, and then I want you to reverse it. Good. All right, I want you to take one arm, doesn't matter which one, and you're going to circle that around in the biggest range of motion that you can. If your arm doesn't go over your head like this, you could do a bent arm, whatever your range of motion is. Now let's reverse it. I'm going to show it from the side as well, reaching the other direction. Good. And then relax. Let's do the same thing with the other side. Circle that arm around. And then reverse. If you are in a standing position, this already is a way that you are challenging your balance. Might be something that's very safe for you, but your arm is moving. That's changing where your body is in space. Okay, relax it for just a second. Arms come out in front of you, and then you're going to take that right arm back behind you and look back towards your hand. And then come back around to the center. Let's do the same thing with the left arm. If you're sitting, it looks absolutely the same. Just opening up and then come back to the center. One more time with each side. Opening that right arm out and then the left arm out. Good. Come back to the center. Let your arms come down. Let's turn the head right and left. So these movements are warm-up movements, but they're also ways that we can challenge our balance, that we can disturb the normal standing position. Let's go up and down with our head. So if you're standing doing this, you're doing more than a warm up, you're already working on challenging your balance. Let's do a tilt. Right ear towards the right shoulder and then left ear towards the left shoulder. A couple more of those. Good. And then I want you to do a few where you kind of do a big circle around with your head. Your eyes can just kind of follow along. And then reverse. Good. And then relax. All right, now let's move the hips a little bit. So I want you to just circle them around. You might step your feet a little wider to do this. If you're sitting down in your chair, I want you to just take a little circle around with your torso. All right, similar, little different here. And then pause and go the other way, circling around and circling around with your hips in the other direction if you are standing. Good. And let's move down to the feet. One foot, either the heels kind of circle around while the toes are on the floor, or pick that foot off the floor and circle your foot around, or you can try both and then go in the other direction. And then same thing with the other side. Of course, feel free to hold on if you need it. Anytime you don't need it though, I encourage you to let go or let that hand hover over the top. Go the other way. Good. All right. We're going to do a little bit more movement with our hip. I want you to hold on to the chair. Let's hold on the right hand. So your right leg is going to be nearest the chair. It's going to be your standing leg. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this happen. You are going to swing your leg forward and back. So I can brush my foot on the floor, but I'm not touching down and putting weight. I'm just letting it go forward and back. Smaller can be a little bit easier, a little less challenging for your balance. Bigger is more challenge. Good. One more time, front and back, and then relax. Let's turn around so you've got your left hand on the chair, your left leg is your standing leg, and then just start with that swing. Remember, you can always, in all of our movements, start small and build your way up into the thing that's the most appropriate for you. Good. Let's do two more. And then relax for just a second. All right, so we're going to get started on taking a position and then challenging our stability, right, by coming in and out of balance, moving different parts of our body. All right, so always feel free to be near something to hold on to. Hover that hand over so you can tap it down whenever you need. We're going to start in a modified one leg stance. So if you've been sitting, go ahead and stand up with me. I want you to have all your weight on your right leg. That left foot's just going to be propped behind you in the ball of the foot. I call this like a little kickstand. You're not leaning back onto it. You still have 80% or 90% of your weight on that right leg. Right hand can touch the chair if you need it. And all I want you to do is turn your head right and left. So we're going to go through several iterations, several versions of how you can challenge your balance in this pose. Come back to the center. Now let's go up and down. Notice for yourself, is this a little more challenging than the head turn right and left? To me, yes, it is, because your head is going forward and the weight of your head is changing. Good, come back to the center. Now let's do a little tilt, right and left. Good, and come back to the center. All right, head is going to stay still. This left arm that's available is going to do that circle in the air that we did in our warm-up. If you can take that right hand off the chair or even just lightly touch it, that's going to be more challenging. Let's reverse the direction of the arm. Remember, if your arm doesn't go straight up like this, you can do any kind of movement that's circling around with that arm. And then relax. All right, now we're going to move the leg. So hold on if you need to, and this left leg is going to go forward slowly and back slowly. So not that big swing that we were doing in our warm up, just a slow forward and a slow back. Notice what that does to your balance. Can you make your grip on the chair lighter, right? Instead of leaning on it, maybe you just have fingertips on it, or maybe you can take your hand off, right? Pause for just a second. Instead of going forward and back, I want this left leg to go in front of your body, side to side. Different challenge, right? You're crisscrossing across your body. If you feel like this isn't hard enough, try it with your hands completely off the chair, right? You'll notice how different that is. All right, and then relax for a second. Okay, we're gonna put two things together at the same time. We're still gonna be working on this right leg as our standing leg, so if you need to, shake it out. It's doing lots of work. All these muscles around your hips and ankles are doing lots of work, this right leg, even though we're moving the left one. All right, go back to standing in that kickstand stance. Almost all your weight is on that right leg. We're gonna put together head movement and arm movement, right? You can absolutely start with that right hand touching the chair. So I'm just gonna do that circle around with my left arm. I'm gonna get it going, kind of put it on autopilot. And then your head is gonna move as well. I'm gonna do right and left head turn. When we add two things together, we're leveling up. So if it feels harder, it's supposed to. All right, pause for just a second. All right, now we're gonna put head movement and leg movement. So let's pick just that forward back of the leg, kind of get that going in autopilot. And then you can turn your head. You could go right to left. You could go up and down. Whoa, up and down is much more challenging than that side to side. So that's a way that you can play with what works for you. You need more challenge, look up and down. You need less challenge, right and left. And then relax for a second. You also have the option to not do two things at the same time. You can pick one body part and just move that. So we've done head and arm, head and leg. Now we're going to do leg and arm. All right. So I want you to get that leg movement. Let's do that crisscross movement of the left leg. And so it's coming in front of you and out to the side. And then let's just let that arm move around. If you want to not do the circle, right? Another option is you could kind of just swing your arm, almost like you're walking, kind of swinging it back and forth. Can you lighten up on that right hand that's on the chair? If not, totally fine, stay where you are. And then relax. Woo. Shake out that right leg for a second. Last thing on this side, and then we're gonna let the other side get a chance, is moving everything at once. Head, arm, and leg. Now, you don't have to do a circle, you don't have to do a swing. I want you to just think about moving all these parts, right? It's a little bit like patting your head and rubbing your stomach, I know. Stand on that right leg completely with just that prop in the back for just a moment. You could start with head movement, add in some arm movement, add in some leg movement. Don't worry about what it looks like or how you are moving your arm or leg. I want you to forget about that. And almost just like you're waving your arm and leg around and you're looking around your room, turning your head. You might be a lot of support on that hand, on that right hand. That's fine. Maybe you can lighten it up so you just have fingertips. Or maybe you can take your hand off for a moment and then touch back down. And then relax. All right, I warned you. I told you this was going to be really challenging. If you can do that perfectly without wobbling, please send me an email because I want to meet you. You might be Superman or Superwoman. All right, let's switch everything around. We're going to have the left side be doing our standing. So you want that chair or turn your body around so that you're using the wall with the left hand. Standing on that left leg, right leg's propped behind you. We're going to go through the same sequence. So we're starting with head, turning right and left. So you might now go, wow, this is the easy part, now that you know what's coming. So if you want to, go ahead and take that hand off if you can. And then come back, let's try up and down. This little pattern, this little sequence is a great thing if you were like, I want to practice my balance, but I don't have a class happening right now. I don't have time. All right, come back. Let's do a tilt. You can just remember, get in a stance that's challenging for you. Move head, move arm, move leg, and then put some two or three together. All right, come back to the center with your head. All right, let's move the arm around. Just do that circle around with your right arm. If you can lighten up on those left fingers or let them be completely off the ground, off the seat, do that. If you're doing a circle, go around the other direction. Good. All right. Now, we're going to let the arm go. Let's just move the leg. Let's do that forward and back, slow motion almost. It's kind of like that swing, but we're not going fast. See what you can do. Can you take a hand away? Also remember, one side of your body might be stronger at standing balance than the other. For me, my left side is much better standing, so I can do this without holding on. That might not be true for you. Maybe your right leg is a little stronger. All right, pause for a second. Instead of going forward and back, let's do a little side to side movement with that right leg, crisscrossing the body. Make sure you're not tensing up the shoulders. Let them be relaxed as much as you can. And then rest. Shake out that standing leg, shake out that left leg. We're going to put two movements together. So you get back in that one leg stance. Left foot, you're standing on, right foot is propped behind you. Let's do head, side to side, and that arm moving at the same time. Again, remember, we're putting two things or more things together. Don't worry about what the movement is. Whether you're making a circle or your arm's just kind of waving around, does not matter. And then relax for a second. If you want to, try the head moving up and down as the arm moves. Maybe you reverse the direction of your arm. Maybe up and down with the head is too challenging and you say, no, I'm just going to stick with the side to side. All right, relax. Now let's do head movement and leg movement. The arm's going to stay still. I'm going to move my leg forward and back. You could start with that side, looking side to side head, or you could go to any of the others, the tilt or the up and down. Lighten up on that left hand, whatever amount you can. And then relax. All right, we did head and arm, head and leg. Now let's do all three together, head, arm, and leg. Again, remember, no worries about what your limbs are doing. Just get them moving around, all right? Put that left hand on your chair, stand on your left leg, prop that foot in the back to start. Maybe you just add one thing at a time. You start with the arm, add that head movement in, add that leg movement in. Whatever you do is fine. Any kind of movement you are doing is challenging your balance, is perturbing, right, your balance that you had when we started this movement, this exercise. And then relax. Oh, okay. Shake out both legs for a second. We are going to get the ball, all right? Go ahead and put the chair on the right side again. And without any balance, I want you to any challenge, I should say. I want you to just toss and catch that ball. Use whichever arm is your dominant one to do this. Do a few, kind of get used to it, and then switch over to the other side. If you feel comfortable doing it, go back and forth. If that makes you drop the ball more often and you'd rather just stay with a one-hand toss, that's totally fine, because we're going to be making this more challenging to our standing balance. So I want you to feel like you're not losing the ball a lot. Okay, so we are going to do this in that one leg, that modified one leg stance. All your weight's going to be on the right leg. The left foot is propped behind. Not too much weight on it. You should be able to pick it up in the back. Right hand can be on the seat back if you need it, and you're tossing and catching the ball. So if you've got that right hand on the chair, then that's where you are. You're using your left hand to toss and catch. If you can do this on one leg without holding onto the chair, then you could do both, you could do either hand. You could even do that back and forth for those of you who are really good at tossing a ball back and forth. But remember, the most important thing for me right now is that you're able to catch the ball. So please feel free to stay there. Good. All right, relax for a second. Instead of this time, we're gonna do it one more time, same move. Instead of being in that modified one leg stance, I'm gonna challenge you to lift that left foot completely off the ground. Now, you have to be in charge of you. If that doesn't work for you, if you're wobbling too much, then touch the toes down as lightly as you can. You can use this chair as much as you want to. Let's toss and catch the ball while you're standing as much on one leg completely as you can. Maybe the right fingertips are on the back of the chair, or maybe you can hover them off the chair for a moment. Maybe you're somebody who says, hey, this is easy. I'm going to do this with either hand. I don't need to hold on. Great. Relax. Okay, we're going to do all that on the other side. So go ahead and move the chair over to the left. We're going to stand on the left leg in that modified one leg stance. Hold on, and then toss and catch with your right hand. Once you get a feel for it, notice if you can free up that left hand and you can hover it. You can take the left hand off completely, and you can do toss and catch with your left or back and forth. Remember, I'm always giving you additional options that you can do. You do not have to take them all. This is where I am today. And then relax for just a second, shake out that standing leg. And then we're going to try it with one leg completely off the ground. So we're standing on that left foot, hold on with your left hand, take that right foot off the ground or tips of the toes on the ground still, and then see what happens. Maybe you stick with just tossing it with that right hand. Or maybe you can do the other hand and you don't need to hold on. Or maybe you can do back and forth. You might notice my right leg is moving around a lot. That is fine. It does not have to stay still in one position. Sometimes my leg kind of counterbalances me. If I start to tip this way, it kind of comes out to the side to keep me steady, and that's natural. All right, relax for a second, shake it out. Woo. It's amazing how much work you get just standing up. When all these things are moving, all these muscles are having to react to that. All right, so we're going to take the ball, and I'm going to move my chair back over to the right side. I'm going to put it on the ground. I want you to put your left foot on top of the ball and just kind of roll it around. Right now, we're not really doing a massage, although if you want to, you can kind of press down and get a little bit of massage on your feet. If you don't have a ball, right, if you were just pretending toss and catch, or you were using something else like an orange or a rolled up pair of socks, you can't really do this move. So I want you to just pretend that you have a ball there. All right, if you don't have something that will roll like this, just kind of circle around your foot. Now, just like we did with that swing of the leg slowly forward and back, you're just going to move the ball forward and back. I'm kind of releasing it and touching it, releasing it and touching it. I'm going to show it from the side as well. So I'm not staying in contact with it the whole time. I'm kind of rolling it and stopping it and rolling it and stopping it. So you can absolutely do this with your right hand staying on the back of the chair. This is just the same thing as what we were doing standing. We were moving our leg forward and back, but we have an additional task, which is don't let that ball get away from you like I just did. All right, pause for just a second. Now, instead of going forward and back, you're going to crisscross in front of your body. So I'm just going to roll it across and stop it, roll it this way and stop it. Back and forth. You do have to have your head down. So in a way, you are also changing the angle, changing where your head is in space and making it more challenging. Okay, relax. We're going to do that on the other side. Bring the chair around so that you've got your left hand free. And just start with a little movement around with that um, ball, kind of circling it around. You can go the other direction with your circle. If you want to get a little massage in there, absolutely can. It's one of my favorite things to do with the ball. It's just wake up the bottom of my foot. All right, so now let's go. I'm going to just turn to the side. Let's go to that little rolling, roll and stop, roll and stop. Just forward and back. So doing this with the left hand on the chair, or if you can take it off, do that. I want you to see if you can keep your right foot off the floor, meaning you're not stopping it with your heel down, right? Or stopping it with your toes down. See if you can kind of grab it with the ball of your foot and don't set that heel down if you can. All right, pause. And now instead of going forward and back, we're going side to side. Make sure you move forward a little bit so you have room to roll it without hitting your chair. It's coming across and open. Good, one more time. Awesome. All right, let's take the ball and we're going to use it as a visual to do some eye exercises, but also we're going to be in a challenging stance for you, so we're also still working on balance. If anybody gets dizzy while you're doing eye exercises, you can absolutely do them sitting down. They are great for working the eye muscles if you're not standing up. If you're standing up, it has that extra layer of improving your balance. So hold the ball. If you have something, a word or a number or a logo, turn that part to you. I find it's helpful to really specifically look at a certain spot. You can even take a pen and mark on your ball. You pick your starting position. Feet underneath your hips is the easiest version. Feet together is going to be more challenging. In that modified one leg stance is going to be the most challenging for this right now. Well, most challenging might be completely on one leg, but for what we're doing today. So you pick what works for your body. Bring the ball. Let's see. Let's have that chair over on our right side so you've got support. Put the ball in your left hand. Look at that spot. You are not going to move your head around, only your eyes. Take the ball over to the left and your eyes follow, but not your head. And then bring it back to the center. Let's do that again. Eyes go as the ball goes out to the left and come back to the center. All right, let's try up and down. Up, come through the center and go down in front of you. Let's do that again. Try not to move your head, just your eyes. Up and down. Come back up in front of you. Let's do a little diagonal up. Don't turn your head, but take your eyes up on the diagonal. Come back. Let's do that one more time. Up on the diagonal and come back. And then let's do down low on a diagonal and come back to the center and low and back to the center. Relax. If you were standing on one leg, then I want you to switch and try it on the other leg. If you were standing in that feet underneath your hips, maybe you can go a little more narrow, even if it's only just a couple of inches, or maybe you come all the way. So I want you to put the chair on the other side. Your ball is going to go in your right hand this time. Eyes on the ball, take it out to the right, but don't turn your head, and then come back to the center. And again, out to the right and back to the center. Let's take it up and through the center and down and up and through the center and down. Come back in front of your eyes and then go up to the right and back to the center. Do that again, up to the right. Good. Let's go down to the right on that diagonal and back to the center one more time. And back to the center. Good. All right, put your ball down in a place that it won't trip you. Last little thing here, standing with your feet underneath you. Just close your eyes, exactly where we started class today. Take a breath. Notice how you're feeling. If you feel okay here, we're going to move our head side to side, up and down, and tilt. If you feel like you already know this might be too easy for you, you can move the feet closer together. If you know, hey, maybe eyes closed, I'm going to stay a little more safe, I'm going to open my feet out wider. Head turned side to side, keeping the eyes closed, and then up and down. And then a little tilt. Good. Come back to the center. All right. Keep your eyes closed and just take that right arm, do a big circle around with it, just like we did in our warm up and in our practice. And then go the other direction. How does that feel? If it seems too easy, remember, feet can come closer together. If that even seems too easy, you can go into that modified one leg stance, 1 foot prop behind you. Let's try that same movement with the left arm, just doing that circle around. My goal here is for you to find that place where you feel challenged, but also still safe. Go the other way with the arm. You can also have that other arm resting on the chair or countertop. Good. And then release it and relax for a second. All right, for this last one, we're going to do eyes closed, leg moving. So I do want you to make sure you have your hand on chair. So I'm going to put it on the right side. I'm standing on my right leg, holding on with my right hand, close my eyes, and then just slowly moving that left leg forward and back, just like we did when we had our eyes open. If you would feel more comfortable keeping the foot in contact with the floor, you can do that. If this is easy for you and you want to float it off the ground or move it more quickly, or even see what it's like to just float your hand off the chair for just a moment while you do this. This is, almost the ultimate in challenge here. So don't beat yourself up if you're like, what? That's crazy. All right, relax. Open your eyes for a second, move around or turn around so you can use your left hand on the chair. Left leg is going to be standing. Close your eyes and then start to move that right leg forward and back, using as little assistance as you can to challenge your body. And then relax. Good. Open your eyes. Excellent job. We're going to stretch it out. We did a lot for those hips and ankles. Let's do the calf stretch. Right foot's going to go back. I'm leaning forward onto the chair. Left knee bent. Feel that stretch in the right calf muscle. And then let's lift off, step and switch. Left leg goes back. So this is like your dessert after all that hard work. Don't forget to do it, not only because it's good for your body, but also because it feels good. And then relax. All right, walk both feet back. Bend over at the waist and let your arms reach forward on the back of the chair. Come down as much as you feel comfortable. You can also have a little bend in your knees. You might feel some stretch in the shoulders as well as up the back of the legs. And then come all the way back up, walking back into the chair. Have a seat. We're going to do our crisscross for the hip. So right foot's going to come up and either over the top if that's possible for you, or straighten out that leg more and rest it down on your shin. Lean forward a little bit. You can also use your hand on your knee, just kind of open it out a little. Good. And then let's let that go. Same thing with the other side. Noticing that other side might be more challenging, or maybe this is your easier side. Just tune into where that leg needs to go. Lean forward a little bit. You want to feel this in that outer hip of the leg that's lifted, of that left leg. And then come all the way back up. All right, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. Your right leg is going to stretch forward as straight as you can get it. It might mean you need to come forward in the chair a little bit. Left knee is bent, left foot on the floor. I want you to just lean forward. You can put weight on this left leg. I want you to feel stretch in the back of the right leg and the hamstring. Think about almost making like an L shape with your body, not a C shape. You can reach down your leg if you want to, but don't do that if it makes you curl over. And then come back up. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Plant that right foot, left leg stretches out. Lean forward into that L. And then if you want to stretch the hand down your leg, you can. If you would rather stretch forward, you can also do that. And all the way back up to the center, both feet planted. Walk your feet out a little wider and lean forward, elbows on knees or hands going down to the ground, or even something in between like a stool or tabletop. And then roll all the way back up to sitting. Let your feet come back in. Take a moment here, close your eyes. Notice how your body's feeling now. You stepped up to the challenge of disturbing our balance today. Remember, it's not about perfection. It's not about being still and perfect. It's about being able to react to what happens and what all the different things that happen to us in a day that bring us off balance and then back on balance and then off balance and then back on balance. We want to be able to do all that reaction. So congratulate yourself for working so hard and working beyond where you maybe felt safe and comfortable and to that challenge point. I hope I see you again next time. Take care and keep on working on your balance.